We are finally here at the very last chapter. Chapter 8, the development of wisdom. Though right concentration claims the last place among the factors of the Noble Eightfold Path, concentration itself does not mark the path's culmination. The attainment of concentration makes the mind still and steady, unifies its concomitants, opens vast vistas of bliss, serenity, and power. But by itself does not suffice to reach the highest accomplishment, release from the bonds of suffering. To reach the end of suffering demands that the Eightfold Path be turned into an instrument of discovery, that it be used to generate the insights unveiling the ultimate truth of things. This requires the combined contribution of all 8 factors, and thus a new mobilization of right view and right intention. Up to the present point, these first 2 path factors have performed only a preliminary function. Now they have to be taken up again and raised to a higher level. Right view is to become a direct seeing into the real nature of phenomena previously grasped only conceptually. Right intention to become a true renunciation of defilements born out of deep understanding. Okay, that's the intros of this chapter. My friend told me an interesting analogy, especially this line. To reach the end of suffering demands that the Eightfold Path be turned into an instrument of discovery. Yeah, so we need to use it. We need to use the instrument. My friend, the right concentration, my friend gave me the analogy that it's like you're sharpening a knife. Yeah. The first jhana, you keep sharpening the knife again until second jhana, sharpen again until fourth jhana, maybe even reach the last immaterial stage, yeah, the level 8. Yes. So all we are doing, we are just sharpening the knife until it's very sharp. But we never use the knife. Then how can we break through if we never use the knife? Yeah? This is the role of wisdom. Yeah? We have to use the knife. To use the knife to do what? To generate the insights, unveiling the ultimate truth of things. How to do that? We will read on to find out. Okay, firstly, let's double check some words. Vistas. First definition is a pleasing view. A long, narrow view between rows of trees or buildings, especially one close by a building or other structure. The second definition, a mental view of a succession of remembered or anticipated events. I suppose Bhikkhu Bodhi meant with this definition. Let's see. To reach the end of suffering, that's it. And then, yeah, this one, I'm not sure how to pronounce it correctly. Is it mobilization or mobilization?
Mobilization.
Mobilization, yeah, okay. The action of making something movable or capable of movement. We need to utilize right view and right intention in a different way. It needs to be raised to a higher level. right view, initially, we only understand it conceptually. Yeah, not that this is wrong. Yeah, this is also good. Yeah, rather than knowing nothing at all. But to be able to develop wisdom, we need to change from conceptual knowledge into a direct seeing. Right intention needs to become a true renunciation of defilements born out of deep understanding. That is for the first paragraph. Any questions? If not, okay, Sakyam.
No, this is exactly what Venerable Thupten Cholu talked about yesterday, isn't it? Because we understand our wants and our needs. So it's all start from craving. So that's a defilement. And then we renounce. That means if she said if you don't want that result, then you have to truly renounce. You don't want. Then you don't, think of need this and need that. But actually it's all that you want this and you want that. Yeah. So I think yesterday's teaching highlighted this part whereby
Yes.
you have the right view, and then from there you really understand why, what leads to your suffering. It's because we see it as need instead of want.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, you can link that, yes. But yeah, I think all of us have some degree of understanding, of renunciation, of the importance of it, and of the benefits of it. But to the degree that wisdom is to be developed, is the degree that we renounce the things. If we only, of course we intellectually know that renouncing is a good idea, but do we really renounce everything we have? Doesn't seem to be that way. Yeah. So I guess this is the difference between us and those who walk the path. But don't be disheartened. Step by step, take a baby steps. As long as you move forward, slowly renouncing things one by one, someday we might reach there. So for me, for example, recently I'm not so particular about food anymore. Usually I always go around find the good food, nice food to eat. But probably it also has something to do with my appetite going down as well. But I say probably this is a good first step. Okay, anyone else would like to add anything? If not, let's read the next paragraph. How about Sister Sakyam?
So before we turn to the development of wisdom, it will be helpful to inquire why concentration is not adequate to the attainment of liberation. Concentration does not suffice to bring liberation because it fails to touch the defilements at their fundamental level. The Buddha teaches that the defilements are stratified into 3 layers: the stage of latent tendency, the stage of manifestation, and the stage of transgression. The most deeply grounded is the level of latent tendency, anusaya, where a defilement merely lies dormant without displaying any activity. The second level is the stage of manifestation, pariyutthana, defilement through the impact of some stimulus surges up in the form of unwholesome thoughts, emotions, and volitions. Then, at the third level, the defilement passes beyond a purely mental manifestation to motivate some unwholesome action of body or speech. Hence, this level is called the stage of transgression, vitikama.
Okay, thanks again. Okay, let's take a look. This paragraph explains why concentration is not enough, it's not adequate to the attainment of liberation. Concentration does not suffice to bring liberation because it fails to touch the defilements at their fundamental level. The Buddha teaches that defilements are stratified into 3 layers. What are these 3 layers? Latent tendency, manifestation, and transgression. The most deeply grounded, says here, is the level of latent tendency, where defilements are always inside, lying dormant, without any activity. But when there is some stimulus, it surges up in this form. Unwholesome thoughts, emotions, and volitions. I suppose some of us also have some experience of this. Thoughts of desire, thoughts of ill will. Whenever I see someone I don't like, even just seeing the face, thoughts of ill will already arises. I'm not sure if you guys have this kind of person in your life. Somehow there's this one person in my life that in the Hokkien we call it the Kiam Pa Bin. Every time I see this guy, I want to slap his face. But here's the good news. I did not actually slap his face. So I am still at this level. Not that this is good to have, but the last stage, the third level, if I cannot control myself, purely mental manifestation motivates some unwholesome action of body or speech. This is when maybe someday I cannot control myself and I finally slap that guy. Then this is the stage of transgression, witty karma. I hope it does not happen. And I also hope I don't have this kind of ill will at all. So I'm struggling with the sorry, second.
Marcel. For this part, right, I was attending the Abhidharma class. So Venerable Ji Guang is sharing with us. You keep looking at yourself. Actually, why do you have that unwholesome thought arising? It is, you trace back, it is because of past karma, your past interaction with this person. So if you can't trace back to recent events, like this life, then it probably is because of past life karma kind of thing. So he always emphasized that don't look at others. Try looking at yourself. That's why I think what they're trying to say here is try and look deeply into where this dormant defilement lies, and then you have only yourself to blame. Actually, that's what he said. So by looking at yourself and looking, if let's say you are able to trace back, previous incident, definitely there is something that he has done or you have done that create this, sort of like karmic force to let you have that unwholesome thought. And then another experience I want to share. Previously, I was talking about the queue, and then somebody jumped in front of me. I don't have anger anymore. But recently, just recently, just like Sunday, I was going to buy food. So now it's not about queue. It's about interaction with in the daily life. I order the food and then I take a seat. Then after about 15-20 minutes, the rest of the people who ordered previously all got their food except me. You know, the kind of thing. So
Yes.
I was like, suddenly, what's happening, right? So I went forward to ask the counter staff who took the order, but he was not there anymore. Another person took over. So I asked her to help me check for my order. And then she just shouted to the auntie that's supposed to prepare the food, asked whether she has any order. And no, my order is not there. So there's this, unjust, this anger that just arises because somebody is not attending to my order. I can see it, but I cannot control. Yeah. So it arises. It just arises. You just need a stimulus, it will arise. So you are good to just keep it at the second stage. Just arise as thoughts, emotion, but don't let it come out. Yeah. So I think we really have to practice more so that, even when stimulus comes, because how do we guard the stimulus? We have to be very, really, very observant of all our senses. Anytime somebody says something, somebody react that way, then it just come, So if you are able to guard our senses, then probably we can make the defilement don't arise and remain dormant. And we can know that it is there and it is dormant and it is not affecting you. I think if we are able to practice that way, means we have managed to keep the defilement as dormant. Yeah. Just want to share.
Okay, thanks for sharing. I think a relatable example. Yeah, this is, I think, quite common. Not sure if others experience this when you go to a food place. Somebody, you have been there for 5 minutes. Somebody just got seated. After the next 5 minutes, all his orders have come up. My table is still empty. I was like, what's happening? Yeah, that's a very good example. And of course, I felt some kind of injustice as well. Yeah. But of course, reflecting back at this moment is, of course, about not getting what I want, about my own desire. People can make mistakes. The waiters, the chef, they all can forget. Yeah. But like Sai Kiang mentioned, it is us to blame. The defilement is in us, it's inside here. Yeah. That's why we feel aversion. That's why we feel injustice. Something needs to be done. Very good example. Thanks again. Okay, I think we can read one more paragraph to end today. Second, would you like to nominate?
I keep. Thank you.
The three divisions of the Noble Eightfold Path provide a check against this threshold layering of defilements. The first, the training in moral discipline, restrain unwholesome bodily and verbal activity, and thus prevent defilements from reaching the stage of transgression. The training in concentration provides the safeguard against the manifestation. It removes already manifest defilements and protects the mind from their continued influx. But even though concentration may be pursued to the depths of full absorption, it cannot touch the basic source of affliction, the latent tendencies lying dormant in the mental continuum. Against this, concentration is powerless, since to root them out calls for more than mental calm. What it calls for, beyond the composure of serenity of the unified mind, is wisdom, panya, a penetrating vision of phenomena in their fundamental mode of being.
Thanks, Sister Akim. Okay, we will explore again this paragraph tomorrow. For now, any more questions or comments from any of you? If not, let's do a dedication. 愿消三障诸烦恼，愿得智慧真明了，普愿罪障悉消除，实是常行菩萨道。阿弥陀佛。Till we meet again, may we be guided by the Buddha, Dhamma, and the Sangha. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Have a wise day ahead. Thanks everyone for participating. See you guys next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye.